Andy Johnson, Minnesota State University. We are looking at one word identification strategy. Word parts, sometimes known as analogy, sometimes known as word analysis. And you can see the 6 ways to identify words right here. Word parts is one of 6 ways. Here are the steps for teaching the strategy so that students are able to do this. Provide a sentence with a target word in it. Ask the students, what word makes sense here? And that enables them to use context. Ask the students if there are parts of the word that they recognize. Here's the analogy part. Look for phonograms or letter patterns. Then ask students to use word parts to construct a word or to make a guess. And then reread the sentence to see if it makes sense. I would teach this using a guided reading lesson. That is the strategy that I teach explicitly many times so that students eventually are able to do it automatically. Teach the process to develop the skill. A skill is something that you can do automatically. Here are some pedagogical strategies to enable students to analyze words better. This is called target practice. Present our target words individually or in the context of the students, and then a sentence, and then ask students to identify word parts that they recognize. Include words that reinforce letter patterns and phonograms with which you are working. And we try to we try to develop students' ability to recognize common phonograms and letter parts. Dictated sentences. Again, we're reinforcing the ability to recognize familiar phonograms. Simply include sentences that contain one target phonogram. Include sight words as well. I like to sip pop. Students then have to write that sentence. You dictate that sentence. So actually we're practicing word order, letter sound skills, and word analogy, the ability to recognize letter patterns. Dictated sentence. 3 to 6 minutes a day at most. Word building, sometimes known as onset rhymes. You present the onset and then the rhyme. Plus A is hey, m plus A is me. So we're focusing on individual rhymes, and that is spelled correctly, or phonograms. These are the 38 most common phonograms. You could also focus on the onset and add different rhymes. T plus ip is t ip. Good. All right. Word wall for phonograms. Simply words on a wall organized in terms of common phonograms. You can do a lot of different activities here. I'm thinking of a in word. It's something that has a sharp point. What word is that? Riddles, writing, or word activities are used for reference when you're working on word analogy. Is there an A word that you recognize in this word? Remember, we aren't teaching reading. We're developing neural pathways to enable students to recognize words more easily during the act of reading. That's important. Students know how to read already. They just can't read very well. We're developing neural pathways.